that sound? Can you hear my voice? Can you hear the guitar? Thank God for that. You have no idea last year how long it took me to get the camper working with the computer, and obviously microphone and stuff like that. So, you know, hi William, how's it going, man? And you too, Robert. How's everyone going? Tobias, good to see you here as well. But yeah, so like I haven't live streamed in ages, and I apologize for that. So I updated to Windows 11 as well because my computer just kept telling me to. And it's echoey-ish. Okay, hold on one sec. Right, let's try and fix that. If I get rid of that, and wait, which one's picking up? There we go. Is that better? Is it less echoey? Can you hear me better now? This should be a lot better now. But yeah, so I updated and then everything's just gone like crazy. So I just fired Streamlabs up. Yeah, so this is me just like trying it again. So that's better. Yeah, cool. Thanks, guys. You guys are absolute best. Hi, Nikki. How's it going? You guys are great, like helping me with all my my troubleshooting and stuff like that. So thank you. So today I got this thing out because I neglect the hell out of it. Maybe one day I'll be able to tell the full story on why I bought this, but right now it's kind of under wraps. The long and short of it is I bought this for a project where a 7-string may have been required, and due to different reasons, now it's not. So it just kind of sits there now, and I'd much prefer, because I needed it for drop A, and I'd much rather tune one of my 6 strings down. But yeah, it's a 7-string Rhodes Jackson, and I really, 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 really want to like this thing. I really do, but it's got graphite reinforcement down the neck, and it weighs an absolute ton. I mean, for instance, I like heavy guitars with body with them. So like the BC Rich, that weighs quite a bit. Don't mind it. I absolutely like it. It's very well balanced. But this thing, Jesus Christ, it just weighs a ton. So I'm kind of giving it one last chance. I think what triggered it was I did one of my lessons last night. I was teaching one of my students, and they were a younger one, and they said, "Is it possible to have more strings than 6?" And I said, "Yeah, of course." I said, "I got a 7-string." So I showed them, and I ended up inadvertently doing the lesson on my 7-string because I've still got a standard guitar underneath. And as I was playing it, I was just kind of like, "Yeah, I kind of like this thing." So yeah, like I do kind of like this thing, but after a while, it just weighs too much, and then to stand up with as well, Jesus Christ, it's so heavy. I wish I could explain it to you. So yeah, there's just a couple of things that I'm not sold on. In the beginning, if any of you saw the video I did on this, where I was just like, yeah, new guitar day and all that sort of stuff. It's because it was new and I was getting used to it and it was something fresh, right? But now there's just a couple of things. Number one, poplar body. Strange decision on Jackson's part. This wood is ridiculously heavy. Second, yeah, the graphite reinforcement down the neck. That means if you're going to different countries and stuff like that, which I'm not really planning on doing with this thing, you know, the neck is going to stay a lot more solid with like climate change and stuff, so you don't have to worry about your truss rod. But it's just, I don't know. I mean, what do you guys think? Do you like it? I've done that. I have my favorite guitar, but I have an oldie that I just can't get rid of. Yeah, there you go. Oh my god, I can barely play. I keep playing the same riffs on it. You dig it, but if it's not working out for you, I know. And that's the thing. I really, really want to like it. Because obviously, what does it look like? You know? You, bullet for my Valentine fans out there. I know it's not all about looks, but looks is a very important thing for me with guitars. But what does it look like? It looks like Matt Tux Jackson from when he was with those guys. I got the white one upstairs, and I just thought, oh, cool. The black ones are impossible to find. You know, I'll buy this, and it'll be like a really cool thing because it looks like it's got the beveling on it. It's the same shape. You know, it's got the EMGs and stuff, and it's got the inverted headstock, which was important for me too. I'm not a fan of Jackson's with the headstock sloping down. Much prefer this. It looks aggressive. But having said that, like I said, I think it was like sort of like a semi-impulse buy, but it was just like, well, I need a 7-string. This one makes so much sense because I've already got a Rhodes guitar, and I've played that Rhodes guitar for, gosh, since I was like 17, 18. So naturally, I will like it, and yeah, it's gone quite the opposite way. I don't know. It's just huge. It's a 26.4 or 5 scale length, right? So like you got to take a bus to get all the way down to F, right? First fret. So yeah, I don't know. I have an Epiphone Explorer. Is it bad that I keep tuning down to drop A sharp and then back to standard? Just keep an eye on your intonation. If you're changing strings and you're tuning that low, and for instance you go and strum a chord, you know, and it doesn't quite sound in tune, odds chances are that you're going to need to re-intonate up at the top here on the bridge. But yeah, I tune my guitars up and down all the time. You know, as long as they're not going under some sort of crazy climate change and stuff like that, you should be absolutely fine. Because I knock mine up and down. This is the only one that stays in its tuning, which is standard tuning with a drop A on the top or bottom technically, and that's obviously because of this guy right here and this guy right here. I don't want to go messing around with Floyd Rose changes. Tuning changes with the Floyd, like. For instance, when I first got this, everyone was like, yeah, Trivium covers. And I was like, yeah, or not. Because I'm not really a Trivium fan. But I thought about it because I know the, what's that riff? Sin in the Sentence, right? I thought, well, maybe, you know, just to keep everybody happy, I'll knock one out. But then it's like, that's like a beat, drop B flat, not drop B. It's a B flat standard, tuned down a half step. I just thought by the time it's going to take me to like not restring, but like adjust the bridge and all that sort of stuff, it's just like, it's just going to take forever, man. So yeah, so this just stays in its tuner. And that brings me on to another thing. Joe Newman, thank you. I'm glad I'm not the only one, because everybody says, what, you don't like Trivium? And it's like, I'm sorry, guys. It was the same with Avenged Sevenfold. I appreciate it, but, you know, how many people are going to unsubscribe now? Yeah, it was the vocals for me that with Trivium, and it's very riding horses into battle, you know, like Iron Maiden, that kind of thing, like fighting dragons, riding on horseback with a flail, you know. I just couldn't relate to it. But that mentioned the Floyd Rose thing as well. So that's a Floyd Rose special in there. And I used to own a PRS SE. It was called a PRS SE. Hang on, it's freezing in here. Let me put the heating on. That should work. Yeah, I used to own a, what was it called? It was called a PRS SE Toreo or something like that. And it was white, and it had an original Floyd Rose in it. It was bomb-proof. If anybody's owned an original Floyd Rose, that heating hasn't come on. Just 1 second. I should be a lot more prepared on these live streams, hey. Yeah. So I had that, the SE, and I had a whole career out of that. That was my old teaching guitar. I absolutely loved it. That guitar cost about 900 quid. So you guys, you know, figure out what that would be in your currency, right? So it's around 900 quid, and it had a Floyd Rose. This cost around the same amount of money, and they whacked a special in it, and I just don't understand. Jackson have already scrimped on it. I think this is a cool guitar, but I just don't think there's been a whole amount of love put into it, if that makes sense. So what comes with that is the sustain block in the back. If anybody knows about Floyd Roses and stuff, in the back here, because you're not really running through wood like on a normal guitar, like on a hardtail or something, you're just going to have a lack of sustain because of all this crazy gear in the front here. So they put a big block in the back, and it's only just like a small block, so there's just like zero sustain on this guitar, in my opinion. But I really love the SE, to answer your question, William. The SE I owned wasn't that heavy. It was mahogany body. It was just nice, just right amount. Is that the white ESP one? White ESP one? Which one? Tobias, tell me again. Yeah. So that was the next thing. I was thinking maybe I could take this apart and stick a sustain block in it, a bigger one, a big brass one. But then I was thinking, well, why not just swap out the whole thing for a Floyd Rose original? But I've actually had no tuning issues with using this. And if I'm going to be brutally honest with you, I don't use the bar like a hell of a lot either. See, the sustain, it's capping out already. Gone. Yeah, so there's barely any sustain on the thing. So, yeah, I'm just trying to, like I said, I'm really trying to like this guitar. I really am. Oh gosh, it's I can't just go for it on this thing. Fuck. Oh my gosh. My Schecter has a crap sustain, so I'm not using my drop B guitar. Yeah, you kind of the guitars you like the least, I guess you end up putting in funky tunings that you don't use a whole lot, if that makes sense. I've definitely found that. Um, it's just funny because like coming on to do a live stream, you just wanted to be on form, like playing wise and stuff like that. Because like people watch your videos and they go, "Oh, you're really good, love your stuff, man." But then they see you play for real, and it's like, "Oh, you can't play well at all." So it's just like, God, what a guitar for me to have picked for me to come on and try and perhaps demonstrate some ability or whatever. Yeah, practice. You're right. The pickup swap helped a little. Ah, yeah, of course, yeah. Remember you mentioned about that. And yeah, Ibanez are such great go-to guitars. Like, the Ibanez are very much like a no BS guitar. If you've got an Ibanez, you can just pick it up and you can just play it, and you're not going to have an issue. That's my experience with Ibanez anyway, apart from the 370DXs, which are like the low end guitars which I owned, which was a horrendous guitar. But other than that, yeah, Ibanez, you can just pick the thing up and you don't have to worry about it. They stay in tune. You know, they're just such great guitars. But because and it would make sense, like for me to own like a Super Strat or something like that. But because I'm so vain and I like pointy guitars and stuff, I put myself through the pain of this. For instance, the Ibanez, Jamie Slayers plays it. It's an Ibanez Iron Label, I think it is. 7-string. Played one of those. Monster guitar. And I had absolutely no issue playing that. So I was thinking, oh, 7-string isn't that bad. At all. You know, I could really get used to this. And then going from his Ibanez, but not Jamie's one, but my friend's one at the time. Going back to this, it's just like, shit, man. Like, if you could just play a normal shaped guitar, maybe you'd get on with it. So maybe that's like an ego thing. I don't know. A Prestige Ibanez. Yeah, they're like top end, really cool stuff right there. Yeah, I played the first RG ever made, and it wasn't even branded. There's 3 of them out there. And that's what everything else was based off of. Fun fact for you, the wizard necks, that ended up being on the Ibanez Prestiges and all that sort of stuff, and the RGs. The original neck was a lot thinner, but it didn't go through to production. And honestly, just like from the get-go, Ibanez RGs have just been absolutely incredible guitars. Incredible. Yeah, but use the shape of the guitar. Yeah, exactly. Like I much prefer playing a guitar this way, which is why I hate Gibsons, like Les Paul shape. But trying to sit like this, it's just like falling off my lap, and then you try and bring it over here, and it's just too much to keep a hold of. And it's the same with Super Strats. This shape suits me more to sit with because I've got like massive shoulder issues from all those years of playing. And I find when I'm sat like this, I have this problem with my Explorers. When I'm sat like this, I'm just so bunched up here, and I get such shoulder ache. So I was just playing then. It's just so much more natural for me. Yes, from playing guitar, William. Thoughts on Edwards guitars? Right. They seem to be cropping up loads at the minute. What's going on with that? Because they used to be like this really, like esoteric, you wouldn't see a whole lot of them kind of brand. And all of a sudden, these Edwards Explorers are like popping up absolutely everywhere. On Reverb and stuff like that. I don't know if anybody else is having the same thing, but I just see them like popping up. So Edwards is like this esoteric brand that you didn't see, and there'd be a guy who popped up on your YouTube back in the day or on your Instagram feed or whatever, and he would have a white Explorer that looked just like James Hetfield with the slopey headstock, but it didn't have ESP written on it, and you're thinking to yourself, where the hell has he got that from, and what is it? And it was between two thick brands. It was between Edwards and Grassroots. I think Grassroots and Edwards are like sort of work in tandem. I'm not too sure, but they're Japanese built, and they started to carry on building the MX250 shape, the classic James Hetfield Explorer. And yeah, anytime you've seen one of those, unless it is a genuine like MX250, anytime you've seen one of them, chances are it's been an Edwards guitar, and all of a sudden they just seem to be like popping up again. And they're reasonably priced as well. And I'll tell you who plays one. You know the, I'm getting rid of this, it's doing my head in. Just one sec, guys. Better. I'll tell you who plays one. What's the name of that guy who reviews all those guitars? Agrafish? Is that his name? His name's Hunter. And he reviews guitars and stuff like that. Quite a big YouTuber at this point. And he's got a... Does anyone remember that purple Les Paul that James Hetfield used to play? It's like a very matte finish with yellow binding around the outside. And it's like that's the only one like I've ever seen. And that was like his like sort of like dream guitar. So we found an Edwards version of it, and Edwards actually built one. So yeah, they kind of build guitars that you want but can't find, if that makes sense. Matt Tuck's other guitar. Yes, apparently now. Man, I was on this thing way before he was. They're discontinuing the Explorer shape now. Oh, right, okay. That's a juxtaposition for you there. Started out trying to riff away on a 7-string, all gained up, and now I've ended up back to my default, which is reverby, clean guitar, and open C tuning, right? Have you ever built a kick guitar before? No, I've not, but I am massively interested in getting a custom guitar built at some point by a manufacturer. If anybody's heard of Granger guitars, which is Matt the Riff Master's signature guitar, is a Chug V. I'm thinking about speaking with them at some point and getting something rolling, because right now there's no other guitars on the market that I would like to own, but I have ideas of guitars that I would like to have, if that makes sense. They're either discontinued or you just can't find them. Has anybody seen the Steve Vai Hydra? Yes, I have, and oh my god. It's got like tubes in it and stuff. What is that? It's horrendous. And it's got like a harp strings on the back and stuff. And then like half of the bass down the bottom is fretless. It's absolutely nuts. Only Steve. Was thinking of buying one, could be interested in building one by hand. Yeah, absolutely. You know, if you're confident with that, and then you can get it refinished and stuff in the finish that you want to do it in. But yeah, that Hydra guitar is absolutely nuts. Is it actually going up for sale though? Like, is it going to be like a limited run, or is it just built for him? That's because the video that I saw on All at England's channel, when he was like watching he was reacting to the intro video for it that was made by whoever's built that thing. It was kind of done in quite like a marketing way, in kind of like this is what you could own, this is what it's got on it. Do you know what I mean? Rather than this is just a guitar for Steve. Do you know what I mean? Usually those sorts of promos videos don't happen unless they're going out for sale. So if they're doing like a limited run of them. Yeah, I thought it would have to be a one-off, but God. Yeah, it has got to be like well expensive. It's like Devin Townsend's his V. If anybody doesn't know what I'm on about, if you just go and type in Devin Townsend Flying V, and if you can get a picture with him actually with it, it's huge, and it's got like smoke machines in it and like lasers and that sort of stuff. And it was he had it built for him by who built it for him? Peavy built it for him. But it was that expensive, he couldn't buy it outright. So like whenever he'd play it, he'd kind of like have to like ask them, because it ended up like costing like 15 grand or something like that, which is completely unjustifiable. So I guess as far as yeah, there was two in the wings coming off of it. There's two smoke machines underneath, and it just starts like pouring smoke out and stuff like that. A little bit like Ace Frehley with Kiss, but Ace Frehley didn't do a smart thing on his Les Pauls. He put it in one of the pickups, so then all the smoke would come out underneath, because it was to give the impression that he was playing that fast that smoke was coming out. But then the smoke would come out of like the dispenser here in place of the pickup, and then it would knock all the strings out of tune. Yeah. So yeah, in terms of like plugs and stuff, we just recorded Loud and Proud episode 17 last night, me and Matt's podcast. And there's a thing out on my Instagram right now if anybody wants to put something in it about like suggestions for topics for us to talk about. Because as much as we love doing that podcast, it gets a little bit difficult sometimes to like come up with topics, especially ones that there's things like we've already spoke about by just doing them, if that makes sense. So usually what will happen is we'll just start chatting, and then we'll end up going through a load of off topics that we didn't plan on talking about, and we've covered them. So then later on it's like, oh, why don't we talk about this? And it's like, well, we kind of spoke about that in episode 7 or whatever, you know. So if anybody has suggestions, they are very welcome. But we absolutely love doing that. It's such a good time. How not to do the same Metallica podcast 3 times. Yeah, that's it. Because we're such lifers for that band, we just always end up talking about them. Because like we've got thank you whoever just liked. I really appreciate it when people stick likes on these, so thank you. But yeah, we're so, because what you've got to bear in mind about me and Matt is even though we started working together last year, we never actually spoke in person, or rather over the phone, I mean, until the first episode of the podcast. So if anybody's listened to the first episode, it sounds like an interview. I said to my girlfriend, she listened to it, and I said, oh, what did you think? Oh, everyone's starting to like. Thank you, guys. I hate doing that. Like, hey, guys, remember to leave a like. It's like, but thank you. It is how it works, so thank you. I appreciate it. But yeah, we we only spoke on the phone the day that we did the first episode, and my girlfriend said, yeah, the first episode was good, but it felt like an interview. And another like, thank you, whoever that was. So yeah, so it's like it's taken a little while for us to find our feet with it, if that makes sense. As a matter of fact, like we started to really come into our own like around episodes 3 and 4, that sort of thing. So yeah, it is a relatively new thing, you know. Anybody want to hear something in specific, by the way, while I'm just meandering on this clean channel? And don't say trivium. Thinking of something in OpenSea. Well, I can always swap guitars out. This is basically bullet. What kind of bullet? Tell me. So I guess I've got the top end of a drop C here. So start building a new computer. Try my hand at doing what you do instead of using Facebook and Instagram. Also bought my solo. Okay, Cube. Yeah, just do it in stages as far as like buying gear and stuff like that. I was fortunate enough that I was in a position to just like buy everything in one hit. It wasn't a huge amount of money, but yeah, for those where it's just like you just don't want to do the whole whack, just buying things in stages. As a matter of fact, one of my followers just bought the whole whack. He bought the Scarlett, these exact headphones, bias effects. Like he went and bought, like he had it in his head that okay, in order to do that, that's precisely what I need. So he went and bought literally everything that I have. And he's just got it set up, and I helped him set it up over Instagram because there's teething issues. And that's the one thing I want to say to you guys. Because he was kind of just like, it's not working, and in a panic. And it's like, I was in the same panic. I bought all this stuff. I had audio issues. I had lag. There's so many things that you need to get right when doing this sort of thing. So that's what I would say. Like, be aware and prepared for the teething issues of like setting up. Hi Renee, how's it going? And somebody wants to hear the Poison. Okay. Na because I'm in open tuning. That's what that lick would sound like. Yeah, he literally did have my checklist because I put a video out on my YouTube, like which was how I record my covers and how you can too. And he must have watched that and just like bought everything that I said that I use, because the idea of that was how to do it on a budget. Do you know what I mean? And yeah, I know I'm considering swapping out guitars here because people want to hear heavy stuff. So yeah, one sec. And who wants to hear how low this thing is tuned? Which might give you an idea of my next cover. Right, let me tune this thing up, and then I'll do some playing. There we go. That was drop F sharp. Well, that was C sharp standard with 2 F sharps on the bottom. So if anybody can think of what band uses that, there's my next cover. Reverb, come on, man. There you go. So whoever requested the Poison, there it is. So jealous I have 2 of Matt's guitars. Yeah, I'll say to that the every time somebody says that, makes a comment about the Jacks and this BC Rich, I'll just say the same thing, that yeah, they're impossible to find, but I bought them when they came out. You know, I had to wait a year for this to come. I sold my Dean VMNT Dave Mustaine signature to get this. And then even when I said to Guitar, which was the company that I bought it from, they were like, yeah, but we can order it because they stock BC Rich. Not everybody stocks BC Rich in the UK. I said, yeah, we can order it for sure, but you're going to wait a year for it. And in that time, I tried out 2 guitars. In that time, because I got bored of waiting, I tried out an LTD Snakebite in white, funnily enough. And the only thing that stopped me buying it is my car was going in for a service. So I was kind of like accounting for an expenditure. So I didn't buy, so I kind of stuck to my guns. I just wanted to play it just to see if I'd get, I don't know. I just wanted to play a new guitar, I guess. So I didn't buy that. Then I tried a Zach Wild Gibson. Do you remember the Vertigo one? And it was quite reasonably priced. It was like it was about the same amount this cost. And I hated it because I just don't like Les Pauls. That was the day I discovered that I don't like Les Pauls. So yeah, thank God I stuck to my guns and I held on and I didn't just like cancel the order. So I waited, and then when it came, that was it. As soon as I plugged it in, I knew this was something special. Right, okay. The Page ESPs, right? Yeah, if you think these are rare, you try finding one of them. But this is the weird thing. That V-shape was Dave Mustaine's signature guitar. Then Dave Mustaine had his very short stint with ESP guitars, and then he moved on to Dean. And then when Page got endorsed, he was like, well, I like Flying V's. And they were like, well, nobody's playing this. You take it. Just, we'll put your pickups in it and we'll stick your inlays in. That's the only thing that was different. It was a Dave Mustaine signature guitar that thing was based off of. Like I said, the only thing was different, EMGs and the inlays, right? Maybe they changed the neck profile. I've got no idea. And nobody, because Padge is sort of, I don't even know if he is like endorsed by ESP anymore. He just keeps playing that guitar. He's not like Matt. He just keeps playing that same guitar. But like, you can't buy those. You can't see them on the website or anything like that. He's not under artists. But that V shape, to my knowledge, nobody is utilizing that. Nobody is playing that, if that makes sense. It was a bit like when Dave Mustaine did the Zero, the Explorer with Dean. Like, nobody was using it. Nobody was playing that shape. So he was like, I'd love to do something with that. But you'd think the Flying V, of all things at ESP, metal guitars, like a flagship shape, somebody would be playing that. And yeah, the ESPs, like those Padge ESPs, they're just absolutely impossible to find. No, I would not buy a Gibson either in this day and age. But then again, I would not buy a Gibson apart from that Explorer that Matt has. And I'm saying that not as a fanboy. I have wanted one of those for ages because of Richie Faulkner from Judas Priest. He has that exact guitar, and he came across it at a guitar show in Birmingham, I think it was. And it was $3,000 with all the gold hardware and stuff. I guess the only thing that was different is it didn't have EMGs in it, but it was the same thing. And ever since I saw Richie Faulkner playing that, I was like, God, you know, I would really like to have that. Lo and behold, who starts playing one? So it's like, come on, man. You know? Okay, comments. I know the inlays are sick, though. I really love them. Yeah, they are very cool. The vines with the gun on them and stuff like that. Yeah, they do like the arrow body shape a lot. Yeah. It's really neat because the inlays in the body. I've seen the MP200 and reverb, and I look for them to, yeah. I played an SG reissue the other day, and it was a lot thinner than I expected and felt empty. Yes, that's my problem with SGs. They feel quite empty and hollow. Did you know the SG was designed to be like the next modern step and progression for the Gibson Les Paul? And apparently Les Paul absolutely hated it, and he was like, nah, you're not swapping out for that. So, but they kind of kept on making them, but they didn't like discontinue the original Les Paul shape. I think there's some truth in that story anyway, if I'm right. I love the Padge ESPV Venom the Snakeskin. Yep, I've seen that. And Moose had the same sort of thing on his drum kit at the time. Yep, I think that's really cool. I like that a lot. Yeah. I like the Alexi body shape, which is impossible to find one without Floyd. Yeah, again, I guess that scythe shape was kind of, that was his thing, you know, with the SP. So, and his thing was Floyd Rose's, you know, so. Reverb anyone? Delay anyone? I love it. It just sounds huge. I don't know what it's like at your end, but that's like the. It just gets me. I don't know. It just makes everything sound so full. Right. What if I missed out on? I think it's because first guitar is interested in when you like Gibson. Yeah, Gibson are just. It's very hit and miss with how they're built these days. Quality control. A little bit like another company which shall not be named. Jackson with the Floyd Rose, I hate it. Just never keep it in tune. Yeah. Love playing that song. Reality Float Away. Yeah, Rainbow Veins, my favorite track on the album, straight up. Yeah, I would love, because I got a thing for purple guitars as it is, I would love one of those purple Alexi sides. Because, like, unbeknownst to everybody here, maybe, Alexi Alejo was like a massive influence on me, especially when I was younger. Children of Bodom, one of those bands that were like one of the next bands to follow after like the Metallica and Built My Valentine obsession. You know, then I started like branching out. Black Label Society, Alter Bridge, and Children of Bodom were one of those bands. And yeah, I was quite devastated when Alex passed. And yeah, I used to sit doing like all the like exercises and stuff like that, the YouTube videos. His tuition videos on YouTube and stuff. So yeah, so an Alex scythe would be like a really cool thing to own at this point. Is it just me, or is that hammer-on breakdown riff a lot like the Never Stops, Never Ends riff in Don't Need You? That is different because that's higher. Something like that. But yeah, that's all like hammer-ons and pull-offs higher up. What's a small-bodied, lightweight guitar you would recommend instead? Ibanez. Straight up. Yeah, and purple guitars are the way to go, 100%. Yeah, I would, honestly, I don't play Ibanez. I won't own Ibanez, but I have such a healthy respect for them, I think. And I would 100% recommend an Ibanez to anybody who wants just like a good all-rounder guitar. And you can get them without the Floyds on them. You can get them with the Floyds on. Don't buy anything with an Edge 3 trem on it. Edge 3 tremolos are the devil. Absolutely horrendous. But yeah, Ibanez S series. There you go. Perfect. Absolutely perfect. You know. Yeah. And Don't Need You. Good suggestion. Okay, riffs, anyone? Songs? I could actually make that even better if I stick this on. What is it under? That wouldn't be right. It would be B minor at this point. No, it wouldn't. It would be back up. So B, C, C sharp. There you go. There's the harmonizer on this thing. You have to play with it to get it to sound good, though. But I'm going to switch that off for now. I am in drop B right now. Who knows that riff? Man, I just love Bullet. Yeah, me too. Whoa, pick just slipped right out of my hand then. What key am I in? Oh, come on, reverb, man. Let's go. So, I don't know what that was. That was just something. This one, curses. If you're wondering what I'm doing when I'm leaning down here, by the way, I'm faffing with the camper. As a matter of fact, I could probably get that a lot better. Carl plays curses regularly. Yeah, that's probably got a lot of nostalgia for him. Whoa. Output volume. Something like that, am I right? Love me a good chorusy tone. That tone needs refining. So I've got a select bunch of tones that I use for live streaming. But that one, that needs massively, massively refining. Curses, yeah, I forget. And then it's got the big... Yeah. Down, down, I'm so alone. That one. Gosh, man, nostalgia on that one. What about this one? Oh my god. And then I always go into Pantera Domination when I ever play that, because it's so similar. Something like that. I lose those really old Bullet songs. I completely forget how to play. There you go. Slipknot Unsainted Verse Riff. That's a song that I've never learned how to play, but yes, you are so right. That's cool. And the strange breakdown on that one. I really like that as well. What about Spit You Out? Fudge, I've not played that in ages. How does it go? Can somebody hum it? Yeah, no control, that's right. What about Better Off Alone? Can we go back after that? Can we go back that far? Better Off Alone, is that a Jeff Kill John song? Hand of Blood. Better Off Alone. Is that a Bullet song? Like an old, or like a Jeff Kill John one? Spit You Out. Oh my gosh. Absolute Power. Are we talking Parkway Drive? That's a fucking banger. It's like the same sort of shattered kind of riff. Oh, and then my favorite riff on the Bullet album. That riff, it's so good. Like, yeah, I absolutely love that. Anything that's like digga 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 digga. Yeah, it's the same with like the pleasure and pain thing, you know, that sort of thing. Shout solo. Here we go. I wouldn't even know. And then he does a big run, and then. And then he does a classic. Something like that. I haven't practiced that at all. Shout solo, so yeah. Machine Head. Up. Everyone requests the songs that I'm just not prepared on. Doing that purely off of memory. That's another cool octavey. Really cool octave, lead line kind of thing going on with that one. I guess it is a rhythm line for that. Kronos is really fun to play. Something like that. Am I playing that right, Robert? You tell me. I'm probably wrong. I actually started a cover for that ages ago, not years ago, but last year, and I just never finished it. I covered Prey, the other one. It was the solo I got sort of stuck learning on Kronos. I don't know why. I was just knocking cover after cover out, and I'd learned so many solos and stuff, and when it came to that, I just didn't have the attention span for it. But yeah, that riff. Oh yeah, and the clean for Locust, that da-na-na. But how would that go? I used to know that. And then where's that? Ah, it is on the low string. Yeah. So it's. Like that. Maybe I'll get round to learning that properly one day. But the breakdown. Something like that. I am a Machine Head fan. I really like Locust and Bloodstone and Diamond. Those two albums are like just great, heavy, modern thrash records to me. Yeah, that's a really heavy one. I really like that. Tell me why I feel like there's no way out. Anybody notice the similarities between those? Breaking Benjamin. I was late to the party on that one, but I know the fans of Breaking Benjamin are like the same with those Bullet My Valentine guys. Just like they've been there since high school and all that sort of thing. So you're like absolute lifers for it. Again, late to the party, so yeah. I mean, they're good at what they do. My memory of Breaking Benjamin is Halo 2, you know, because they were on the soundtrack for that on one of the levels. So there you go. I tell you what, though, in terms of ability and stuff like that, this album has like really pushed me into like playing more tight and fast and better as a whole. Like for instance, the that verse riff in "Death by a Thousand Cuts," I'd have never been able to have done that like months ago. I wouldn't have been able to do it. You know, and that's made things like Battery a lot easier for me. So that is like I'm in disbelief as I'm playing that. I'm not in terms of like, oh, look how good I am. Not like that at all. But like looking back on the cover and just like being able to play, it's like 2 months ago, I'd have, or whenever the album dropped, like prior to that November, I wouldn't have been able to do that. So it really made me step up my game, and I was kind of aware of it because we knew we were getting a technical album from them. So I was kind of like gearing up toward it, if that makes sense. But yeah, it really has me practicing my gallop 100%. Does anyone like Muse? Won't Stand Down? It's a bit heavier. It sounds like Parasite Eve, Bring Me the Horizon. Down, 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 which is cool, I guess. Yeah. Muse are a cool band. I don't really listen to them much, but hey, X Scout 2001. I hope you're well as well. I hope you're doing well. Nice to see you. Make a lot of fun to play Death by a Thousand Cuts. Yeah, it is. It's a hell of a lot of fun to play if you can get it though. But I have like days where I just can't play, like that sort of thing. I'm just not built for playing it. Honestly, you got me playing again, and my credit to you for things you play. Oh, thanks, man. I really appreciate that. That means a hell of a lot, you know? Because there's been a hell of a lot of effort. When lockdown happened and I rebuilt my playing, when I started playing more seriously again and doing this, I knew I had to improve greatly. So there's been a hell of a lot of work that's still going into my playing, even now. So, you know, it's regular upkeep. So the fact that my sort of putting practice into it is like inspiring others, that's like huge. Never expected that. Any Mudvayne? No. Sorry, Tobias. I wouldn't even know one of their songs. Oh gosh. Oh fuck. And there's me saying, oh, I can play it now. As a matter of fact, problems on my hate breed was flawed and made me feel great. Good. I'm so pleased about that. And that was a really great, like that hate breed cover. That was really natural. Your playing looked really sort of, you know, there was no fight in your playing. It was really loose and it was really controlled. Controlled was the word that came to mind at the time, and it's coming to mind now again. Your playing looked really controlled. So yeah, well done, man. That was a very cool cover of a band that I don't really listen to as well, but so it was cool for me to hear something different. What about Can't Escape the Waves? Oh, maybe. What riff is that? That's Stitches, the bonus track, if you've not heard it. Tobias, if you've not checked that one out, the cover's like a few covers back on my channel. How much would you spend on a guitar maximum? Depends how much I wanted it. If it was another one of these, I would spend ridiculous money. If it was the silver one of these, less than 100 made, I would spend ridiculous money. But for like, I don't know, I don't like buy guitars regularly. So when I do buy one, it's one to last me, so I don't mind splashing out on it. But like, I haven't got this thing where I just want to buy like loads and loads of guitars and just accumulate. Each guitar I have is for like a specific purpose. So, you know, you won't find me like impulse buying like a Jim Root Jazzmaster, for instance, that I've always wanted to have, but I've got no use for it. I would love to have one. But it just wouldn't get used. I'd just be like, oh, that's so cool. And I'd do a YouTube video on it. Yeah. And then it would probably just sit there and I'd just noodle on it and it wouldn't really get put to work. So when it comes to like spending money on guitar, me personally, I'm prepared to lash out because it'll be something that I've weighed up and looked at for a long time. Apart from that Flippy Jackson on the back wall, the 7-string. All Hope Is Gone. I know one part of that song and it's this nasty chord. But I used to know... Something like that. The first track on the album. Absolutely love that. Like I said, I'm playing that literally off of poor memory. Gematria. But yeah, I absolutely love that. Would you agree? I'm looking for a second one, but yeah. You got to put time into buying your guitars. Yeah, I heard it like twice, and I remember it now. I haven't really listened to the new album since November, and he's listened to it again. Yes, you do. Damage Plan, Crawl. I've never learned any of their stuff. Maybe I should. Would you have any interest in the old Mick Thompson Ibanez, the pointy one? No. That's a really ugly guitar, that. I'd rather play one of his Strats. As a matter of fact, I'd take his Jackson probably over the Ibanez as well. They did a double Rhodes for him as well. Jackson, he just doesn't play it at the minute, but they did a double Rhodes, so it's like an even bigger flying V. And here I am, not learning my lessons with big guitars, but that thing looked really cool. Get my picky right. I know that feeling. Have at least 8 hanging up in my living room. There you go. Yeah, it's like a meter apart at the points. Shit, that's absolutely huge. I use Ernie Ball Everlast .88s, which do not last forever. As a matter of fact, that's getting worn out. That's a that's a good point you've just raised. I will eat one of these per week. Like, genuinely. Like, they grind down, but like, I spend a lot of time playing guitar. But they don't last forever. So, don't be fooled by what's written on the tin with these things. They're great picks. I like the feel of them. But do they last forever? Hell no. Riffs, anyone? I'm drawing a blank. Is it a medium pick? It's a .88, so yeah, it's somewhere in the middle. I think those Everlast picks kind of die a slow, painful death compared to the Dunlop picks, where they just do their job and say aye. Yeah, maybe. Yeah, it is. They do. They slowly grind away. I've noticed that. That's a good what's the word I'm looking for? A good assessment of them. Ah, fudge. Oh, one good reason why. Wouldn't have a clue. Something like that. Dead to the World. That would be... it's a really big, weird chord, that. There's that one. Oh, that's Watching Us Die Tonight. Okay. Yeah. I get mixed up in between those two songs. Play and Justice for All. Say no more. If I can. That's wrong. There you go. It's something like that. 2-3 hammer on the A string. Blackhand. it's throwing me off because of how low tuned I am. It just doesn't sound right. So I'm playing it. And I'm like, is that right? Look at me alternate picking it. Because I'm being lazy. Goodness me, my down picking is just not up. Do you know what the hardest down picking song is? And I've tried to cover this so many times. It's Signal Fire, Kill Switch Engage. Jesus, Adam D's down picking is like on another level, man. And yeah, Blackened is a nightmare riff. It is an absolute nightmare. But yeah. I tried to play that one time and said F that. Which one? Yeah, that's Shadow of the Cross. Yeah, and then... which became... All Night Long. Da, 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 da. Wouldn't have a clue how to play that one. Oh my gosh. So reject yourself. Gosh. Something like that. For reject yourself. You gotta play the die riff. Well, I'm Shindano, so yeah, that's because people keep asking me to play songs in different tunings, so I'm like, I gotta go up and then I gotta go down. What else is there? I really struggle with the fast part of Seek and Destroy, so that thing. How do you play the bit in Sweet Amber where James sings Sweet Amber? So he goes. So open 3 2. And that is just 7th fret with my middle finger on 8th fret, 4th string. So I go. Makes that really grim chord. So it's something like that. Okay, the fast part is Seek and Destroy. So my tip for that would be keep this, the 80s thing at the top down-picked. Keep that down-picked, and the tail alternate pick that. That would be my trick for that. Just rather than keeping the whole thing down-picked. And here I am trying to do it. Have you played Her Voice Resides? You've watched me play that, Nikki. Do you remember on the live stream? I think that was about the 3rd song in that I played. I can play it for you, though. That, by the way, just before I move on to that, I'm only used to down picking that at this point, so that's really hard for me to get an alternate pick on. Okay, Her Voice Resides. I forgot. I forgot it. Hang on, reverb. Oh gosh. I have to run, brother, but it was great seeing you live, interacting with you. Have a great day, and everyone else. Take care, Robert, and thank you so much for tuning in. I've had a blast. So take care of yourself, man. Something like that. My problem is my nerves get the better of me, so I try and play things a million times faster than I should be. And I go and play it to the track, and I'm like, whoa, this is a lot, that's a lot shorter than I thought it was. Gotta shoot. I'm picking my daughter up. Great seeing you. You too, man. Take care of yourself. Thank you for tuning in. I really appreciate it. And then the solo, which I can't remember. And I gotta play it wrong every time. And then Matt. So, the world needs more pick slide riffs. Yeah, it does. It 100% does. So there you go. There's sort of part of Her Voice Resides. And I guess the only thing I forgot was that. Now I'm playing Death by a Thousand Cuts. How do I... No, that's wrong. How does it go? Oh, god damn. Keep playing. I'm starting off as Her Voice Resides, and then I'm ending up in Death by a Thousand Cuts. How's that even working? Man. I can't not go into it. It's really screwing my my head up. Any other requests? yeah, it's crazy how well those go. Place Where You Belong, okay. No excuses, because I've done a lesson on how to play this now. If anybody watched the lesson for that video, my deciphering of that that solo was nuts. And that, so the open, get rid of that verb. That open string isn't in the key. So if you're in that key, right, and you hit that string, it will ruin your day. Watch. Yeah, it will ruin your day. And Padge just kept the continuity of the pattern with the open notes and just threw it in there. And it's over in a flash. You don't notice it. But when I listen to it slow down, it is 100% in there. You can hear it. You can get away with it. But if you were to slow it down, and then that is in there, believe it or not. But it's over in a flash, so he kind of gets away with it. Cool song. It's my favorite Bill, my Valentine ballad, like hands down. Yeah, 100%. But yeah, good shout in A Place Where You Belong. Really good shout. Something like that. Something like I had to butcher it at the end. I have no idea how I remembered that. Have I tried the Petrucci archetype? No, but I know it's going down a storm. I'm just, to be honest with you, I've got so much going on with the camper right now. But between that and Bias Effects, I don't really need to try anything else and kind of holding off. But anything with Petrucci on it, it's going to be good, isn't it? I can play some John Petrucci. There you go, that's my extent of my John Petrucci knowledge. Not played it in ages. Yeah, the transpose. I've got that in the camper, so, you know, not on this setting, though. Oh, yeah, I do. So I can... that. So yeah, that's really cool for the drop. So yeah, transpose features are absolutely huge for me now, anyway, because just like being able to just like drop just like that. Yep, I love me some Architects too. Tom Searle era. 100%. That's Tom Searle tuning. As a matter of fact, if you're an Architects fan, where do you think I got my name from? First track on the Our Gods Have Abandoned Us album. That is far too low for this string. Do I know any Bleed From Within riffs? No, but I love that drop in, what's that song? Dun, 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 dun. If you're a Bleed From Within fan, you know, you'll know the one I'm trying to think of. Architects... Animals, are they vegan? Yeah, Architects are vegan. Absolutely all of them. Pathfinder, yeah, that's the one. They were so cool live. I really enjoyed seeing them. Okay. Any requests? Berby. Okay, well, no worries, man. A while, actually. That song is called End of Days, Tobias. I know. Yeah, End of Days, I'm pretty sure. From Screaming Fire. Carrion. Parkway Drive. Is that, I'm not sure. I only know one riff by them, and that's, think that's right. Although I'm probably butchering it. And yeah, End of Days, that's right. That's got that really cool solo in it. And then Eye of the Storm's the one with the sweeps in it, right? So and God, I'm a terrible sweeper, but I think that's right for Eye of the Storm, but that's tuned up. That's a D standard song right there. What's that one? Army of Noise? And then that's got such a cool riff, the way it goes, just the way it comes, the way it climbs. Skin would be something like that. Man, my right hand is flagging. Just Another Star, that is one that I never learned to learn. It's got that classic metalcore thing going on with it, hasn't it? But a little bit higher up, I guess. You know this though. Tampa Tampa, that's something like that. It's been a while since I played that. Something like that. Gosh, that's been a while since I've played that. Again, like trying to remember stuff on the spot for people. It's like, I don't know if like nerves have got something to do with that or something. I don't know. It's not easy, is what I'm saying. Just like I'll try and play it at a million miles an hour, and I'm halfway through it, and I'm struggling. I'm just like, mate, just slow down. Do you know what I mean? 7 days. I've not a clue. Again, you guys are like hardcore into all the old stuff, or you just like watching me suffer? Like trying to remember everything. So, yeah. I'm just a really big Bullet fan. I love it all. Dead to the World, we already did that one. With that, the end. There's the end. Tears Don't Fall is... And then that's got the big old... Nope, hang on. Oh my gosh. Almost dead. And you guys can play the solo. Because I don't remember it. Something like that. Could you do Waking the Demon? Yes, I could. I did play it earlier. Harmonica. That was a bit too much. Wow. Waking the Demon was my last mosh pit of 2021 as well. When I saw them, yeah, so that was the last song they played live. Right, guys. It's been 2 hours. And yeah, I think we've all had a bit of fun. It's been nice to live stream again. There's been like no video this week because I've been like so busy, so I wanted to come on and just touch base with you guys, of course. Always have a good time doing this. Thank you so much, everybody who's stuck around, ask questions, give me song suggestions and stuff like that. I really do appreciate it. And I hope you're all having a nice 2022. Good start to the year. I don't know. I came into this year feeling like I don't know. I went into 2021 like I'm gonna rule the world kind of attitude, and like coming into 2022, I've come in really like sort of I don't know, like scared of it. I don't know what it is. So yeah, but I know there's positive things on the horizon for all of us, anyways. So I hope you guys are staying well. I hope you guys are healthy and continue to keep healthy. And let's do this again. So yeah, thank you so much, and I'll see you guys next time. Big love.